Can you remember last week I kind of went into two polar opposites? Okay, so one was fear, but what was the other one? Faith, exactly. And so, I just wanted to, we went through fear and how we should really all be afraid all the time. Is that right? No? Okay. All right, so we should be afraid on night times. Ah, okay. So what was it then? We should never be afraid. Correct? Yay, well done, everybody. Excellent. 5 brownie points. 5 brownie points. Okay, so yes, we should not fear. And so I went through a few passages in the Bible that talk about the fact that the polar opposite of fear is faith. And so fear can creep up on us, and I mentioned 3 particular fears, didn't I? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, and fear of man. Okay, and I said that this can come through experiences, through leaving an open door, through making wrong decisions. Who gets very afraid when they've made a wrong decision, right? Yeah, me too. Like when I've made like an absolute pear-shaped decision, then I kind of freak out, So and so you've got to know that there are various circumstances that bring on the pain of fear. And so we kind of looked at the Bible verses that say, "Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid." And I think when we've made a wrong decision, I could never say that word. Decision. How do you say it? How do you say it? Yeah, the wrong decision. Is it decision or decision? Yeah, what he said. Okay, so right. So I wasn't born in this nation. Okay, I came here when I was 5. Okay, so basically, when that happens, then what we've got to do is number one, we get on our knees and we ask for forgiveness. And he is just to forgive. Okay, so when we've made a wrong move, we ask for forgiveness because we could freak out, like any wrong move, and we could literally freak out. Okay, because the fear will come in that, hang on a minute, you did something wrong. Okay, you did something either illegal, or you did something like lying, or you did something like cheating, or you did something like that, the other day there was a big discussion on white lies and black lies, I guess, are the opposite of white lies. I don't know. Maybe truth is the opposite of lies. But yeah, and so the fear can creep in that way. Fear can creep in through interaction with other human beings. So, when you look at a human being, either in your team or in your family, when I was in ministry, training, I was taught that there are 3 different kinds of people. I'm not talking about DISC. There's something called DISC, which is DISC, and each of those means something to HR. But I'm talking about ministry. So the scenario is every week on a Friday night, you have a youth event, okay? And in this youth event, you invite the youth of the town and the community, and they come, and you have like live music, you have live worship, and then what happens is they jump on the kit, and these kind of youth that you don't really have a relationship with come and destroy everything, okay? They completely ransack the place and trash it, okay? So think about this scenario for a moment, okay? Have you ever played Dilemma? Have you ever played that game? It's so funny. It's like this. It's like you get various scenarios and dilemmas, and then you have to pick which one everyone thinks you'll go for. It's really weird. Anyway, so this is the scenario. Every week on a Friday night, you host this youth event. One day, the wrong type of youth come along, and they destroy everything. So they destroy, really, expensive equipment. All gone, kaput. Right. So these are the resolutions to this. Okay. Would you sit them down and tell it straight and say, what is wrong with you? Get the heck out, and ban them from the youth centre to come ever again, and then tell everybody else in the community, in the parish, beware of these guys, put it on Neighbourhood Watch, the list goes on, New York Times, hello. Don't entertain these blokes, all these gals. What do you do? Do you do that? Okay, that's A. B, do you go, do you know what? They are masterpieces in the making. They are precious souls to the body of Christ one day. And do you sit them down and go, guys, it's really disappointing and it really hurts that you would do such a thing? And talk them into counselling. Would you do that? Would you kind of sit them down and kind of just go, listen up. I'm for you, man. Listen, when you walk through that door, there's something special about you. And, you destroyed, I don't know how much all of this costs, but okay. Yeah, you destroyed £3,000 worth of, equipment, but, £5,000 worth of equipment. But you know what? I know you didn't intend to do that. It wasn't you. You were just badly brought up. I don't know. So what would you do? Would you give them the pep talk? Because you're concerned about their soul. Okay. Or let's look at the third option. Okay, which is, right, guys. When we run a youth project, this is what's going to happen. Let's get real. We might have people that aren't in the faith that come, and don't we want to reach them? Don't we aspire to reach these guys? Haven't we all been there? Let's fundraise. Let's do project fundraising, and let's even use the youth that broke it to, get some money and replace everything. Okay? So which scenario would you go for? Would you go for A, which is that you will sit them down and ban them from the youth centre, make sure that you inform their parents and the police and every neighbour in the neighbourhood? What would you do? That would be A. And B would be, so you sit them down and you pep talk them and you counsel them into... Sean's like, it would be see you never. That's what it would be. Or is it 3? E? Is it number 3, which is, fundraising? Okay. Beat them up. or number 4, beat them up. Eric scratched that from live stream. Yeah. Okay, so what would it be? So put your hands up if your first scenario is more likely. Tell them the truth. Right. Anybody else? Ooh. Oh. Teacher. Okay, anyone for number 2? Scenario number 2, which is, listen, we've all been there. It's all right. Get through this. Together. Forever. Not that either? Okay, what about number 3? Okay, anybody else? Number 3? Okay, all right. You must choose one of those. You must choose, otherwise I'm going to put you all in number 1. with Sean. Huh? Okay, Eric, what would you do? Number 1? Look, it's your equipment in front of you. Yeah. Yeah, he's saying that because when we were younger, our mums used to put raw chili, on our mouths. I know, so we had to train on times tables. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3. And so the moment, we got to 11, 12 times table, or 8, we hate 8, 8 times table, and it didn't come out fast enough. It was like, right, you never sat there and you never revised. So, and we'd be like, for the whole afternoon. That's all it lasted, but it was still kind of, traumatic at the time. So no, we won't do that, Reuben. Okay, so anyway, this is the thing. If you chose 1 in your heart, do you know what? I'm kind of going to tell them it's not on. Then you are a principal person, okay? So you need a principal person to see, because just think of a school principal, so you need them in the leadership team. You need them to tell the truth, to say, look, that's really not on. That's a lot of money that you've cost the organisation, and we do this out of the goodness of our hearts. We do it for you. What you've essentially done is you've destroyed it for all the other youth in the community, and you tell the truth, okay? You may not tell everybody in the neighborhood, but you will give them a nice, beautiful lecture, eye-to-eye contact, and letters will go out to parents, okay? But then, if you are that kind of person, you've got to pray to the Lord that you have timing in telling the truth, because not everybody is ready to hear the truth at the time you think it should be delivered. And also, you should pray to the Lord about the delivery of that truth, like the way that you deliver the package, okay? Because you can make or break somebody in that moment. The first time I jumped on guitar, I used to lead with guitar because that was my main leading instrument. And it was just easier because I didn't have to think about any wrong notes. It was, a chord is a chord, and it was fantastic. So, and when I jumped on rhythm, the problem I had was I couldn't sing and play rhythm at the same time. So someone came up to me, and it was the pastor's son, and he said, Ruth, I'm so glad you've picked up the guitar and everything, but, you're playing completely, like you're singing, your playing is affecting your singing, so, you've got to learn to do it together. And I was like, all right, God blimey. You should be celebrating me. You should be like, wow, Ruth, go get him, girl. That sort of thing. But, I heard the tough love spoken to me. And after that, I tell you, it was soul destroying. It was soul destroying. Tried learning to drive 3 times. And, I swear, I'm telling you right now, it wasn't my fault. But, the instructor was like, and he started having a fight with me. Oh, so you didn't see the road signs? Oh, the road signs were covered, were they? Oh, right. Like this. And I'm like, what side of the bed did you get out of? So this is my life. And so, people tell me tough love stuff, okay? And, I get tough love from Ruben all the time. And even Hannah and Ethan. So Ethan especially goes, Mum, honestly, you've got more shoes than blah, blah, blah. That's all I hear from him. It's like, every day. That's his mantra. Because, Mum, I'm looking at these shoes. We could have 3 houses by now. I'm like, what? Every day, I know. Nilani would agree. She's a very good wife. So that is what you call a principal person. You need those. And by the way, the second person is a people person. A people person is someone who likes to, who empathizes all the time. So for them, it could be soul destroying by telling these guys what they did was wrong. Instead, it's like school education these days. You can't use a red pen. You can't put a cross when a little kid goes 3 + 3 is 5. You've got to put a question mark. Bad, very bad. If 3 + 3 = 5 is a question mark, it's not giving clear guidelines. That's what I feel. I feel it should be a cross. Okay, it could be in a purple or something. I don't care about the colour, but it's wrong. That is very true. See, another people person kind of rising up. It's like, don't destroy the kid. Don't destroy the kid. Okay? So when you're a people person, what happens to you is that you will get walked over by every character that comes your way that you have an empathy for. Okay? And also, you will you want the best for that person, and you won't necessarily get the best results from your team if you don't say it straight, And so you need to pray to the Lord about that, about seeing beyond the person and seeing what their potential is and calling that out of them, right? And thinking that, accountability is a really good way to bring them up. And then the third person is someone who is a project person. So principal person, people person, project person. Okay? And a project person loves to do 3,500 projects. It's always on the go. It's task 1 to task. What are we doing? Why are we sitting down? I mean, did you even, what? Why are you breathing? So they want to be on the go doing something. And the thing about the project person is you've got to pray that you don't tire out your team, okay? Because you can tire out the team. So, and also you can run out of resources, all right? So you need to learn to manage the resources that are given to you. So, these are the scenarios that come. And why am I saying this? Because when there's fear of man or fear of rejection or interaction, this is what happens. You shouldn't fear having a good conversation with someone. You shouldn't fear having a conversation from a standpoint of correction. Because the Bible says that when the Lord corrects us, he does it out of love. It's because he loves us. Right? And so we shouldn't ever fear that kind of thing, like, the way that we relate to people and talk to people and hang out with people and things like that. We should never fear that, because everything can be talked about. Everything can be discussed. And in fact, I mean, if you look at the Jewish community, when they dissect the Word of God, the Torah, they are constantly debating. They are constantly debating. But we don't like to do that. It's like, oh, no, I don't want to debate this. You know? I'll take your word for it, you know? I'm not encouraging talk back. Believe me, I'm not encouraging that, okay? Because we know what Paul said about that in the Bible. But I am encouraging discussion and debate and healthy, non-judgmental development of ideas. So, today I want to go over the faith part because last time I went over fear. And so today I really want to sort of quickly touch on faith because I've already wasted all of your time talking about this scenario. Now, quick game, okay, back to the opposites game. Okay, we know, I can't express enough, the moment that you feel fear in your heart, you pray for faith. Just pray for faith. Could be a scenario that you don't know what to do in a certain situation, so you need wisdom. It could be that you don't have the skills to do something that you've been tasked to do. What do? Then you ask questions. And what is the fear? Oh no, I'm going to look really dumb. I am going to look really dumb. You know, I've told them I've had like multiple years of experience, and I'm going to now tell them, actually, to be honest, how do you want me to do this? You know, phrase it in a way where you kickstart a conversation and don't fear that discussion. So going into this faith side of things, let's look at direct opposites again, okay? So the rules are you can answer the question if you put your hand up, okay? Just saying that, okay? So, and Nalani won the prize last time, which I haven't really gotten her yet, okay? So, there are. So this time, it's only 1 point each, okay, Nalani? And Eric, are you going to keep a tab on who gets points? Oh, no, wait. Ethan, can you keep a tab on who gets points? Thank you, darling. So I want Eric to play. Okay, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. About 30 opposites. Here we go. Are you ready? What is the opposite of large? Yes, correct. Vanessa, 1 point. What is the opposite of tall? That was exactly at the same time. It is short. Child, hands up first. Okay, so, we'll have to move on. Okay, so what is the opposite of thin? Yes, Vanessa. Yes. Vanessa, 2 points. Nalani, what's happening? Okay, what is the opposite of soft? Yes, Vanessa. Correct. She's just slightly in edge of you, but really, I mean, like, you could win this, okay? Eric, what's happening to you? You have got a big fat egg. I'm being principal. Okay, now, and I want the words coming out, okay? I don't want actions. Okay, all right, here we go. Hands first. Shawnee Pops, you're failing miserably. I'm just, throwing that out there because I want to call out the best in you. Okay, all right, here we go. What is the opposite of bright? Dim. Yes, I'll take that. Dark was what I was looking for. See, could have won that. It was a little too much too late, that was. She's a people person. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is the opposite of miserable? Yes. What is the opposite of warm? Yes. Okay, Ethan, are you keeping tabs? Okay, that was the leaderboard. Okay, now, what is the opposite of major chord? You had, I was, waiting for it, Shorty Pops, or Shuji, but you just beat her to it. Just beat her to it. Okay. So Sean got that, Ethan. What's the opposite of left? You have to put your hand up and truth speaking, principle coming out. Negotiator. You are forever a negotiator. Okay. A politician? A diplomat. Oh my goodness, these words are impressive. Okay, the opposite. I don't know who got that, Ethan. You decide. Okay, ready? Hands first, okay? The opposite of base. Yes. Correct. Eric finally got his first point. Okay, and what is the opposite of ugly? Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, yes. What is the opposite of intelligent? Yes. Yes, pretty much. I couldn't think of a word because I thought dumb is so horrible, so I've just left it blank, but that's what exactly I was thinking. Okay, the opposite of fast. Yes. Come on, she's on a roll. You're just literally seconds behind, seconds behind. What's the opposite of logical? Yes. Correct. That's because she's such a logical thinker. I, I'm so impressed with her. She obviously answered her. Your namesake, buddy. That is totally, totally you. Right, okay. What is the opposite of obedient? Okay, but listen, okay? You're just purely using my words to just answer me now. Logical, illogical, obedient, disobedient. Okay, it is actually, it's what I've got here. So I think Vanessa, though, put her hand up faster. Okay, opposite of safe. Are you two married? Yeah. Correct, Sean. Sean gets the point. Yeah, do you know what this is? The smallest violin? No. All right, okay. So the opposite of stressed. Yes. No, not what I've got. But yes, all valid points. What's the opposite of stressed? Dad, opposite of stressed. That's it. I'm going to give it to my dad. Because of favoritism. Okay. Granddad, dad, or Krish? Any one of those? Absolutely. Okay, the opposite of believe. Yes. Oh my goodness. You're sitting too close to these two. Honestly, unsafe. Good grief. All right, yeah. Correct. Shawnee Pops. I'm so happy with you right now. Honestly. We disagree. We object. Doubt, correct, is the opposite of belief. These are kind of difficult. What is the opposite of true? Yeah. What? Lies. No, true. False. but you didn't put your hands up. Yes? False. Okay, great. Opposite of lazy. Yes. Okay, not active, no. Hardworking, correct. Opposite of past. Yay! Do you know what my sister says? My sister says there are three of us, so she says she's the youngest, so she said I'm the past, my brother in the middle. You've met him. He's the present, and she's the future. And I'm like, yeah. I'm the trailblazer, baby. All right. Anyway, so what is the opposite of crazy? Yes. I'm so impressed with you. I mean, like, do you know what? They're not a team. All right, listen. Okay, you get an extra point though if you can spell it. Yeah. Correct. Because the other way, these guys would go insane. Yeah. Okay, crazy, sane. Well done. The opposite of east. Yes, correct. The opposite of North Pole. Correct. The opposite of summer. No, you. Yes. Okay. Technically, he did the hand and the answer thing together. Oh my goodness! What is? He's unleashed. Yeah. Ooh! If Daniel was on the drums, it would be like chop, 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 chop. Okay. Now, the opposite of summer. Oh, you said that one. I'm sorry. That was just testing. It's just testing. It's just testing. Heaven. Correct. What are you, a geography major? Okay. The opposite of love. Yes. The opposite of patient. Yes. Restless. Oh my giddy aunts. You guys are too good with these prefixes, honestly. Honestly. Okay. Right, what's the leaderboard, Ethan? Who has gotten the prize which will be delivered next week? I have to do one more. I have to do a tiebreaker. Doesn't matter. Okay, it could be a pencil, but okay. Now, no, it's a good prize. It's a good prize. Okay. Ooh, you can win. Oh, you being a people person. Very generous of you. Very, very generous of you. That's very brave, very courageous, and fearless. Okay. So, the tie break situation question. You
Trying to think of a word now. It's a lot of words I can choose. The opposite of freedom. Sorry? Okay. want to hear everyone's like opinion on this one. This one's an interesting one. I want to hear everyone's opinion. The opposite of freedom. I think the closest one would. I think the one that relates more to what I'm thinking of is Ruth's one. Oh yeah, that would make sense. Didn't even think about that.
Okay, anybody? Okay, the opposite of. Okay, and don't you dare put your hands up without knowing the answer. Okay, all right. So this is Ethan. This is between V and S, right? Right. Okay. Okay. All right. What is the opposite of hunger? Yes. I said yes. You guys are hopeless. Okay, you both win. You both win. Ah, goodness, you both win. Okay, you've held your fort well. Well done. And that was a quick run up the thing, I must say, because largely you were like dormant. The first few questions, like, and then there he came. It's like Super Mario. It's like Super Mario. Yeah. Okay, faith over fear. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. So we will not fear when earthquakes come and the mountains crumble into the sea. So what that tells us there, Psalm 46 is really powerful. There's lots of songs written on this psalm. And it says, God is our refuge and strength, and he's always ready to help in times of trouble. So when we feel fear, what it does, it makes us weaker, okay? And it makes us feel exposed, okay? So both of those things, I want you to know that God is ready to help in times of trouble. And, it doesn't matter if it's political, if it's, the 7 mountains of life, right? Health, social, what? No. Health, media, what? Religion, family, law. There are 7 mountains anyway in society. And so it doesn't matter. Earthquakes come and the mountains crumble into the sea. We do not fear. Okay? Because what's the worst that could happen? Death. Okay. Moving on swiftly. Psalm 62. Let all that I am wait quietly before God, for my hope is in him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I shall not be shaken. My victory and honor come from God alone. He is my refuge, a rock where no enemy can reach me. O my people, trust in him at all times. Pour out your heart to him, for God is our refuge. This is what Hannah read earlier this morning. And it's kind of knowing deep within, it's like a stillness, a quietness in your soul, that our hope is in God. And he's our rock, he's our salvation, and he's our fortress. All of those things signify to us that he brings strength and he brings provision, he brings protection. And it's so important. I mean, we've just honored the soldiers who were in the trenches, and the part of your defense is camouflage, or part of your defense is hiding, part of your defense is protection and armor. And God is all of that to us. And it says, "O my people, trust in him." The most central verse in the Bible is Psalm 118, I think. And there's a verse in there, and the most central verse in the Bible is, "Trust in God." Trust in God. And so it's the Americans say that, don't they? "In God we trust." And then do the complete opposite. "O my people, trust in him at all times. Pour out your heart to him." So he's ready to have a conversation with you. Mostly the conversation goes like this: "God, why me? Why? Why?" Right? I know. Yeah, been there. But the conversation could also go something like this: "Oops, I did it." I'm kidding. Okay, so a conversation could also go, "Lord, get me out of this mess. I trust in you. And I'm so sorry if I caused this." Or, "Lord, give me the wisdom to get through this. Open the doors. Secure me, establish me. Pour out your blessings." Hebrews 11 is what we call the hall of fame. No, it's the hall of faith. You've got lots and lots of very, very sort of important biblical figures mentioned in Hebrews 11. And it says here the definition of what faith is. Faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. Through their faith, the people in days of old earned a good reputation. Faith is the evidence of things unseen. And it's the substance of what we hope for. So, does that mean, like, say, for example, one day it will rain in the UK this week? Is that faith? It's faith if you were in drought season in the middle of Africa. Okay? But no, here you've seen it time and time again. Green England. Yeah? If you want the driest county, apparently Cambridgeshire is your place to be. But faith is something we've not seen but we've hoped for, right? So having that faith is a little bit crazy, because it's like you can't physically see something. We don't see the evidence of it yet, but it's coming. It's coming, and we can start to praise him in advance for that. Isaiah 9, 1-7. This whole thing is lead up to Christmas, isn't it? Hope in the Messiah. "Nevertheless, the time of darkness and despair will not go on forever. The land of Zebulun and Naphtali will be humbled. But there will be a time in the future when Galilee of the Gentiles, which lies along the road that runs between the Jordan and the sea, will be filled with glory. The people who walk in darkness will see great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. You will enlarge the nation of Israel, and its people will rejoice. They will rejoice before you as people rejoice at the harvest, and like warriors dividing the plunder. For you will break the yoke of their slavery and lift the heavy burden from their shoulders. You will break the oppressor's rod, just as you did when you destroyed the army of Midian, the boots of the warrior and the uniforms bloodstained by war. All will be burned. They will be fuel for the fire. For a child is born to us. A son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His government and its peace will never end. He will rule with fairness and justice from the throne of his ancestor David for all eternity. The passionate commitment of the Lord of heaven's armies will make this happen. Romans 10:13-17. I mean, what that essentially, what I've just read, is what we need is an antidote to all of our fear. That he's wonderful, that he's counselor, and he's mighty. He's everlasting, so it's not just for this one season. It's not like a firework. Okay, I have students that come in with the energy of a firework. So they come in, they learn, they soak up everything you can teach them in the first 4 lessons. And then it's like they fizzled out. It's like, it's gone, you know. And then there are ugly caterpillars, my friends. And they sit there and they struggle and they struggle and they struggle. And it's like, oh, C is here. D is here. E is here. And they struggle and they struggle and they struggle. Should you probably understand exactly where I'm going here. And then all of a sudden, the penny drops. It's like, oh, and it all makes sense. Yeah, I'm still trying to make sense of gospel chords, to be honest. I'm like, I prayed today. I was like, Lord, I want to be able to play like a gospel player. I mean, all of those 9ths and 11ths and 13ths and minor 7th going on to diminish this and the suspended that, you know. I just want it to all come like naturally. If only they could create that matrix machine. But no, I think I've got to spend some time investing in that skill. God is passionate and committed, and he will make it happen. So coming to land, Romans 10:13-17, for everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how can they call on him to save them unless they believe in him? How can they believe in him if they've never heard about him? How can they hear about him unless someone tells them? How will anyone go and tell them without being sent? That is why the scriptures say, how beautiful are the feet of the messengers who bring good news. But not everyone welcomes the good news. For Isaiah the prophet said, Lord, who has believed our message? So faith comes from hearing. That is, hearing the good news about Christ. So if you want to increase faith, what do? We hear. We need to hear, and we can ask also. We can ask for the gift of faith, which is something completely different. Well, it's the same thing, but more intense. Ephesians 2:8-10. God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for this. It is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done, so none of us can boast about it, for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us a long time ago. And that's where I want to end today, is that if I've made something and it's really, really precious to me, and you all are, if I've made something, I am going to protect it. I am going to invest in it. I am going to train it. I am going to advance it, progress it. And so just to let you know that you are all God's masterpiece. And so if we're going to stand on anything, is his goodness and his might and the fact that he created us. And we're not just any ordinary art, we are his masterpiece. Hallelujah. And so he will do it. It's in his best interest to do everything that he can to make sure that he calls that greatness and that purpose out of us. That was what he dreamed about for us long ago. Amen. So this season, whatever it is, just any time that this fear thing creeps up in your heart, just time to sort of take an audit, time to say, Lord, why exactly is this creeping up in my heart? And then face things. Face things, because you are not alone, and he's got you. He's got you. I want a t-shirt. God's got me.